Today, I thought it'd be a smart idea to run you guys through some of the new bows I got. As you know, I already have 2 new bows, but I also have a third that just came in that I've actually not shown any of you yet, and I am revealing in this video. As you also know, I have a problem. Last year, I had multiple bows from multiple brands with different equipment that I was setting up the day before, 2 days before every shoot. And it was probably not the smartest idea because I didn't really get to spend any time tuning or doing anything with these bows. So my idea for this year was, okay, I'm going to get one bow at the beginning of the year, I'm going to set it up right, I'm going to tune it right, and I'm going to spend the whole season shooting it and see how well I can do. I lasted about a week before I decided to get 2 more. So I'm admitting defeat early on here, but I'm stopping here. I swear these are the only 3 target bows I'm going to get. I kind of swear that that's where I'm going to stop. So my idea is I've got about a month and a half to 2 months before my first national ASA shoot, and then I've got a few months before state shoots start and all that. So I'm hoping in that time I can set up all 3 bows, shoot them, sight them in, all the fun stuff, and see what one I actually want to shoot for the whole season. And I'm hoping I can decide on one. That is the goal. So without further ado, what I want to do today, starting off the new year, I just want to bring you guys through, tell you why I picked these bows from these brands, tell you what my plan is for my setup, and then I haven't really spent a lot of time shooting them yet, but later on, if you stay tuned on my YouTube channel, I'm going to go through and shoot them all, tune them all, and then I'm going to let you guys know what one I decide on to shoot for the rest of the season. I'll probably rank them first, second, third, and then whatever one I'm not shooting that comes in second will probably be my backup bow that will go with me just in case anything happens to my number 1. So without further ado, let me run you through what I have here and let's get started. Okay, so bow number 1, I'm going to start with the bow that I actually haven't even revealed to you guys yet. None of you know that I have this bow except for the people that sent it to me, so I'm going to reveal that now and tell you guys what I'm thinking about it. Bow number 1, we have the Darton Exodus. This one is way out of left field because I have never shot a Darton before this bow. So I was actually at ATA show and something told me, you haven't shot a Darton, I see they're really coming up in the target industry, they have a lot of really great technology, and I was just curious to try it out. So I headed on over to the Black Eagle Darton booth and I got to shoot this bow and a couple other ones. And I have to say, I'll also admit this is my first time shooting a shoot-through riser bow. I have actually never shot one before, and that was another reason why I wanted to try this bow out. So I shot it, you know, obviously blank bailed it at only a couple yards because that's what you do with those things, and I told them, it feels good so far, but it's hard for me to tell what this bow's really going to do if I don't shoot it at a longer distance and get my stuff on it, my strings on it, and the way that I like it set up. So they said, okay, you want to try it at a longer distance? Take one home with you. Sent one my way, and here she is. So this bow is the longest ATA bow that I have on my rack right now for my lineup of what I could shoot this year. It kind of goes against my theory for this year. I was going to try to go as light as possible and as short as possible, but when I held this bow, it just felt so right in my hand that I felt like I needed to give it a chance regardless. Its mass weight is supposed to be right up there towards 5 pounds, but it really doesn't feel that heavy. The way the weight's distributed, it doesn't bog my arm down as much as you would think. I really like the yoke system on this bow. I'm really curious to tune it and mess around with that because I actually haven't really got to play with these before. But overall, the shoot-through riser design is very rugged, it's very stiff, and I just feel like the grip itself balances my hand really nicely. So I am super stoked to try this bow out. Obviously, I don't have the Mad Goat strings on it quite yet, but those are the strings that I shoot, that I want on all of my bows. So I've got those guys sending me a set right now. This bow is going to be a completely different theme than what I've done with everything else. You guys know, I love my turquoise, I love teal, but with this one, I thought she would look stunning with purple, lavender. So I'm going that kind of theme with this bow. I think it's going to be really cute, and it'll be different than everything else that I've got. So this one is going to be a learning experience for me, like I said. I'm going to walk you guys through that when I restring and I tune and do all that stuff. I'll bring you guys along with me. But I'm really, really stoked to try it out. It's absolutely stunning and the grip is amazing. So that is bow number 1, Darton Exodus. I'm super, super excited, and I'll keep you guys updated on what I do with this bow going forward. Alright guys, so bow number 2, which is actually technically bow number 1 because this was my original plan to shoot just this bow all year long. This is the obvious one. You can probably guess what I'm talking about. The Matthews Title. I got the 36. That just fits me better, but there is a 38 option as well. She is the lovely lady behind me here. I have had a chance to actually get my strings on it, a couple of accessories that I like to use, and I have shot it a little bit. I do also have the Shot Sense technology on it as well, so that's been really cool and fun to play around with. I am going to do a full-length video on that for you guys as well, just running you through how it works, what I like about it, maybe things I don't like about it, and where I think they could go with it from there. So, without further ado, here she is. I have to unplug it, which is very new for me. I've never had to unplug one of my bows before. It's a very new concept, but it's very cool. Here is my lovely lady, the Title 36. And obviously I've got Mad Goat strings on it, I've got my Hamsky rest. I'm probably going to put a CBE sight on it. I've already torn up this D-loop with how much I have messed around with different releases, so I need to check that out. But other than that, she is shooting really freaking well so far. I'm super stoked about this bow. Right now it's one of my number 1s for sure. What I really like about it is they went very wide and short on the limbs this year, and I just feel like when I'm at full draw, this bow holds so well. The other thing is, I've had no time to tune. I honestly have hardly been able to check timing. I've had absolutely no time to put into this bow at all. I've just shot it right out the gate how it is with the new strings and everything like that. And I will say I've made some very poor shots that still ended up finding where they needed to go. It's very forgiving without anything from me, and that is crazy, crazy cool. So I am going to obviously do some rest timing and everything like that and make it as forgiving as I can, but right out of the box, this thing is so forgiving. I was honestly stunned. So I'm very, very excited about it. I went white, not mint, which is probably shocking to you guys, but I wanted to be able to do my own color accessories and everything like that. So I'm super stoked about it. They do have the RPD in the limbs this year. It is an 8-limb system rather than a 4, just like the Phase 4 was, just like the Lift is. And I will say it is much more dead than my TRX, which doesn't necessarily matter in target, but it just feels better in my hand. I feel like it has very little jump, and overall it's just a really, really sweet, sweet rig. So stay tuned for that. Here is my Shot Sense on my grip right here. That is some really cool technology, I have to say. I've never been able to play around with something like this before, and it told me so much about my shot sequence and what I was doing right and what I was doing wrong. So I'm really pumped to continue practicing with that. It is a really innovative piece of technology for sure. So that's super cool. Like I said, I will do a whole full-length video on just that for you guys as well, because I want to run you through what it's actually capable of and if it's worth the over $300 that you're going to spend on it. So that is the Matthews Title 36. Stay tuned for more videos on that coming up soon. Alright guys, so last but not least, bow number 3 is actually a really unconventional idea for what I am doing. It'll work out well for 3D, but it's not technically a target bow. So I had a little bit of a different idea with this one. I wanted to go with something completely different than my other bows so that I could kind of get contrast and see what I like better. So bow number 3 is my Elite Carbon Era. Alright, here she is. So I had quite a few ideas when I selected this bow. First and foremost, like I said before, I have struggled in the past with bows that are too heavy for me. If you guys cannot tell, I am 110 pounds soaking wet, so when I have a setup that weighs half my body weight, then it doesn't really work out too well for me. So with this one, my idea was keep the bow itself light so that I could dump more weight on my stabilizers and put the weight where I want. which is something I don't have as much liberty to do with some of these other bows. I need to hit the gym, I know, but this was just the solution for now. So this bow comes in at under 4 pounds, which is just crazy. So I have a lot of liberty to be able to run a V-bar, put whatever weight I want on it, and it's been really cool to be able to mess around with that. The other thing is this bow is a 31¼ ATA with a 7¼ inch brace height, which is specs that you never see. Like, when I read the specs on this bow, I was like, there's absolutely no way that they accomplished that, and they did. So basically it's forgiving, but it's still a short ATA bow. What I like about that for me is that I'm only a 26¼ inch draw, and this bow not only does 1/4 inch draw adjustments, like the Darton, the Title does not, but it does 1/4 inch draw adjustments, so it fits me like a glove as far as that goes, but the short ATA just feels better with the string angle for me personally. I just think that it fits me better, it hits my face the way that I want, so that was the idea behind this bow. I have shot it a little bit and it shoots really, really, really well. I honestly even considered, like, after target season hunting with this bow because I think I could be deadly accurate with it. So overall, I really, really, really like it. Obviously, I just put my new strings on. I don't even have a peep in this yet, so I actually haven't shot it with the Mad Goat strings yet, but I'm very, very excited to. Tuning is going to be super easy because it has the set technology, which I absolutely love. It takes me 2 seconds to get this bow where I want it, so I'm excited about that. But overall, I'm pumped to do more videos on this for you guys. When I brought this bow out and said that I was going to shoot a carbon bow for tournaments, a lot of people were like, that's kind of weird, but more people than you would think actually go this route. Like I said, being able to put weight on your bars where you want it is very important when you're trying to balance your bow. So this one's going to be a very different setup and style than the other two that I have here. So this bow will probably go to tournaments with me regardless, and then I'll pick between one of these two to be like my main target setup. This will be more just 3D, and depending on what 3D I am shooting. But overall, she's pretty sweet. I'm stoked to show you guys and let you know what I think about it. So I have also gotten the chance to shoot this bow a little bit back to back with the Title, and I will say one of the things that makes me gravitate towards this bow is the fact that I can adjust so many things on it on the spot. I don't have to order a new set of mods every time I want to try a different let off or a different draw length. Those draw lengths are only 1/2 inch increments as well, and like I said, I fall in the 1/4 inch. One of the main things that I really, really liked about this bow when I was shooting it is that I can actually adjust my let-off increments to a very minute amount, and it's very easy to do, just right up here. So while I was shooting it, let's say I had too much weight on the bow and not enough holding weight, I can just adjust it on the spot and get it exactly how I want it. I also have the option to put limb stops on this bow, which I really like. So that gives me a rock solid back wall, which personally I enjoy. But there's also multiple spaces for you to be able to do that on this bow as well. So I can pick exactly how I want my back wall to feel, exactly what let off I want, 1/4 inch increments on my draw. Overall, this is by far the most adjustable bow that I have. So it's hard not to want to pick it up. When you're playing around with setups, it can be frustrating. I've already had to order 2 other sets of mods for my Title, trying to figure out what I like, and it adds up, let me tell you that. And it's also frustrating because you can't do it right then and there when you're trying to set your bow up. So I have been gravitating towards this bow quite a bit, and you'll probably see me shooting it a decent amount. If you are looking for a bow that has that kind of adjustability, 10 out of 10 recommend this. Like I said, the brace height's really long. It's a forgiving bow for the ATA, and it is an absolute shooter. So I'm stoked about this thing. I, again, don't know what one I'm going to pick yet, but as far as versatility goes, this is my #1 by far. The Darton would be second. It's very close, runner-up. I can do a lot of adjustments on those mods as well. So that's what I got to say about that guy. And then obviously I have my Matthews TRX 36 as well, the blue bow, as everybody calls it when they call me out in public. Yes, that is my blue bow. She's going to be my backup for this season as far as I know right now. I shot that bow probably the best out of any of my target setups last year. So that's going to be on retainer. She's already sighted in, everything's good to go. So if anything happens with these other bows, I know I've got a bow that's going to shoot well for me sitting on deck. So that one will probably travel with me as well. So all in all, these are the 4 bows that I'm going to be playing around with and shooting. I don't have a ton of time, but I'm going to spend as much time as I possibly can with each one. And I'll keep you guys along for the ride with me and let you know what one I end up picking. Alright guys, so that is the first YouTube video of 2024, and it will not be the last. I am making it an absolute point this year to get as much content out as I possibly can for you. I know I've been slacking on the YouTube thing. It takes a lot more time and energy than people give it credit for. Like, I would thank your favorite creators because it is unreal how much time and effort you have to put into these things. It really is. So I'm going to make it a point to set that time aside and bring you guys along with me for everything that I'm doing. I want you guys to be able to see what I do on a daily basis. I'm trying to bring you into my life at the shop a little bit more, and just here in general with me setting these bows up and shooting and all the fun stuff that I'm going to be doing this year. So thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, like this video, share with friends. I am almost to 100K on Instagram at this point, and I do have a really cool surprise for you guys when I get there as a little bit of a thank you. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you turn on notifications for my Instagram as well so you don't miss out on that opportunity that is coming up very soon. So thank you guys so much for your support. I'm so thankful and blessed to be where I am right now. I couldn't do what I love without you guys, and I'm just so appreciative of every single one of you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Stay tuned. We have a lot more to discuss this year. It's going to be a great time. Thank you guys, and have a good day.